I got a good question about that's something a lot of people are facing that they don't understand, or they may want to Google it and find out more information. It's called, it says the gentleman wrote in, let me see his name because it was a great question. Anyway, this gentleman wrote in, he said, what is a medical bankruptcy? I guess he saw some information on the internet about a medical bankruptcy. And there's really no strict definition for a medical bankruptcy because I guess everybody just has a different opinion of it. My thoughts is that when the term medical bankruptcy came to light about 3 or 4 years ago, somebody did a study and said, well, what type of medical conditions cause people to file bankruptcy? In other words, do medical bills, or maybe poor health care, or the inability to get health care, or just lack of insurance, did they start the ball rolling so that somebody had to file bankruptcy? And that's where the term was coined, medical bankruptcy. When I was actually interviewed on CNN about medical bankruptcies. And they asked me, in Southwest Florida, do a lot of people file bankruptcy because of medical bills? And the answer is yes. But it was because of several different things. Number one, it was because of people had no insurance. They had access to great health care in Southwest Florida. They just couldn't afford it because there was no health insurance. Also, we had people who filed bankruptcy because of credit card debt. In other words, what they were doing is taking their credit cards and paying their health care providers, buying their prescriptions, and ultimately they couldn't afford to pay the credit cards when they didn't, and all the interest rates jumped up to 29%. That was directly related to medical issues. So that one was categorized as a medical bankruptcy as well. Then you have people who just don't have insurance, and say you have a child with an issue, or a child needs an operation, or a child's born with a birth defect, and that child may need extra care in the hospital, or it's just a preemie, it has to stay in the hospital for 6 to 8 weeks. The cost can be catastrophic. What happens then? Well, the family could work the rest of its life to try to pay off this debt, or they choose to file bankruptcy, and hopefully at some point in time in the future they can pay back some or all of it. I know a lot of people who pay back their doctors after they file bankruptcy. I have no problem with it. And that leads us to another issue of, people say, well, can I pay my doctor back? Can I not include my doctor because I don't want him to know, or I don't want his bill included? I understand that, and I say no, you have to include the doctor's bill. You can pay them back if you choose to after you file bankruptcy. I mean, let's face it, folks. I know if a person owes their brother, sister, mother, father money, they get listed in the bankruptcy, and I know they're going to pay them back later. The bankruptcy code can't prohibit it. They can't stop you from voluntarily paying back anybody. And I know people are going to go and pay their doctors. I know it. But we have to include them in the bankruptcy. We take away the legal obligation, but not we can't say you're stopped from paying back this person. You just can't do it. That's kind of silly. They can use with their money in the future to pay whoever they want to. And they're going to. I know they're going to. Everybody knows they're going to. But it's just something that we have to take away the legal liability or the legal obligation for. Because if my client's testifying under penalty of perjury that they've listed all their creditors, they damn well sure have better listed all their creditors. Because I'm not going to put anybody out there who's not going to tell the truth.